So today we're going to dive deep into the world of passive income, specifically the 6 streams of passive income that I use and am developing in my online business. And don't forget to stay till the end, where I'm going to disclose 2 additional streams of passive income that I'm working on developing towards the end of 2021. So at the beginning of 2020, I was a traditional lawyer. I'm a traditional lawyer, but I was a traditional lawyer from the sense that I was running a law firm where I had a legal assistant. I had plans to hire associates. I was litigating cases in court. I was mediating cases. I was negotiating deals, doing all those type of things that a typical lawyer would do. That was very staff intensive. That was something I had to be in the office for all the time. I had to go out and meet with referral sources in person. And that was the world we lived in at the beginning of 2020. And my goal then, which still remains my goal, but my goal then was to build a business that would help support me and my family. But that business was going to be a physical law firm where my sole job was going to be the managing attorney that was going to kind of oversee all the people that worked with me and make sure all the cases were being taken care of, make sure all our clients were being taken care of. That was the job I was trying to build for myself. That was the firm that I was trying to build that would support me and my family. And then came March of 2020. I tell you what, the ocean is absolutely beautiful today. It's supposed to storm this afternoon, but right now it's calm and beautiful and breezy and just really nice outside. So as I was saying, then came March of 2020, and almost overnight, all those plans I had to build this law firm and hire staff and grow the firm, poof, went up in smoke. I actually remember sitting in my office on a Friday afternoon after the first round of shutdowns had been announced, thinking to myself, what am I going to do? What was I going to do? I mean, sure, there were some temporary stopgap measures that were put in place, the EIDL grants, the PPP loans, those were things that were temporary in nature, and they weren't something that you or I or anyone was really going to be able to rely on as business owners long term unless Congress passed another round of funding for those, which ultimately it did. But at the time, we didn't know that, and we didn't know when. I didn't know when my next paycheck was coming in, because as a firm that worked off flat fees, if I didn't have new clients coming in, I didn't have any additional revenue coming in that I could use to pay bills and things of that sort. So at the time, I actually had this YouTube channel. Those of you that have followed me for any period of time know this channel has been around actually since I think 2016 or 2017. I had a decent following a year ago March when the pandemic started. I was making a little bit of money from Adsense Revenue. I was making a little bit of money from affiliate sales, but certainly I wasn't making enough that was going to support me and my family. And so I had to really sit down and think about how I was going to intentionally build my business moving forward to plan for a post-pandemic world. And fortunately for me, I was in a place with my firm that I've always been fairly forward-thinking. I had already planned out ways that all our systems were cloud-based. It would have been, if I had associates at the time, I did not, but if I had associates, it would have been very easy for all of us to pick up and work from home as opposed to going into the office. So that wasn't a huge deal. The problem was we had to figure out how we were going to get clients, and because a lot of the work I did involved going to court, that wasn't going to happen anymore. The courts basically shut down for like 3 months. And so there was a lot of soul searching going on in terms of what I was going to do. And ultimately what I decided to do was actually to double down on YouTube, provide more content that would be helpful to online business owners. And I didn't know exactly how this was going to work at the time. I hadn't mapped out in my head all the different sources of revenue that I could potentially tap into, but that was the plan, to start building this channel around the needs of online business owners and how I could best help them. Fast forward to today, I've actually developed 6 passive income revenue streams off the backs of this channel, and that's what I want to share with you today. So the first revenue stream is AdSense revenue, and basically most of you probably know what that means. This is completely passive. If I did nothing but do videos, which I really enjoy doing, and upload them to my channel, I would derive income from AdSense revenue. Now, it's a gamble because AdSense revenue could go away, YouTube could change the terms of the deal, but I don't think they're going to, because YouTube makes a lot of money off of the AdSense revenue that its creators generate. And it's a really great model because it compensates the creators on YouTube, and YouTube also gets a cut. And I don't know exactly what the percentages are. I think the creators get somewhere around 40 or 45%, and YouTube gets the rest of it. But regardless, if you see an ad on this video and you click on it, that generates some money for YouTube, and I get a cut of that. That's the way that whole model works. So that's the first stream of revenue. The second stream of revenue is affiliate sales. Basically what an affiliate sale is, this is also very passive. I have links that are down in the description below. I have links to set up payroll for your business. I have links to set up LLCs for your business. I have links to other things down there in the description. If you opt in to one of my opt-in forms, I have resources that I include with some of those opt-in forms that also include affiliate links with them. So I can derive affiliate revenue from a number of different sources. That's the second way I derive passive income from YouTube. So the third way I derive revenue from YouTube is my DIY LLC program. Basically, I've partnered with another company to provide LLCs to people, and I can do that in all 50 states. Not only can we form LLCs in all 50 states, but I can also serve as a registered agent and do other filings for people in all 50 states. Now, I get a lot of questions from people that say, well, Jim, you're licensed in North Carolina and Florida. How exactly are you forming LLCs for people in other states? Well, the way you get around that is I'm not actually providing any legal advice for people that use that DIY service, and I don't actually have any interactable that use that service. If somebody goes to my website and they use the DIY LLC link, and they fill out their name and information and set up their LLC through that form, then what happens is when they pay for that LLC, I get basically a cut of the fee from the service provider. And hand in hand with this DIY LLC, it also allows me to provide setup services for people in all 50 states. So I don't really consider this passive because it does require my time, but if somebody were to call my firm and set up a call for an LLC setup, again, we can do that in all 50 states. And the only difference between the DIY method and me doing it is that I'm walking somebody's hand through the entire process and helping them understand how to put the proper information into the form, which a lot of people have questions about. That, again, is another passive revenue source, the DIY LLC service. So the fourth passive revenue service that I have on my channel, or it's not really on my channel, but that I have in my business now, is a legal template store. So this is something that I created last year when I was building out the next revenue source that I'm going to tell you about. And basically what I did is I've built several legal templates. I think I have 8 or 10 in the store at this point that are all connected to a course that I also offer. What I've done here is I built out the templates, but they're connected to a software that I use to make it really easy for people to prepare their own legal forms. So I drafted these templates, I coded the templates, and I uploaded them all to the website. So that's the fourth passive income source that I've generated for my business. Again, this is completely passive. They're on the website, purchase them, I get paid for that without doing anything else. The YouTube channel generates all the leads that come in, for the most part, for people that then purchase those templates, which is kind of cool. One other thing I want to point out to you is, although I make this, I hope I'm not making this passive income thing sound too easy. Because one of the comments I got on one of my prior videos is that there's no such thing as passive income. I disagree with that. I think that passive income definitely exists, and it's definitely something that is attainable by anyone, really. But here's the thing you need to know. Passive income does not come without a little bit of effort. You are striving for passive income, and that's what I've been striving for the past 16 months in my business, is passive income. But it doesn't come without work. But the payoff is huge. because once you get the systems dialed down and you're able to generate the people that are going to follow you, that are eventually going to pay for whatever it is that you have to offer, once you get that dialed in, the process is repeatable. And at that point, that's when it goes from being actively engaged in business to a passive income model. And so, I mean, I can post videos to YouTube. That's going to generate revenue regardless if I post a video this week or not. Now that revenue is going to fluctuate, and the more videos I post, the more revenue I will generate. And there's a variety of reasons for that. But I just want people to understand, and for those people out there that would say there's no such thing as passive revenue, it definitely exists. It's just a matter of dialing down the systems so that you can create, and some people will call it a lifestyle business. Some people call it passive revenue or passive income. I mean, I think whenever you're able to disengage from billing time for money paradigm, whenever you're able to disengage from that, that's when you truly are generating passive revenue, because at that point, it no longer matters how long you work, it matters how smart you work. And if that's an hour a day or 10 hours a week, and you can generate a lifestyle, an income that's going to support you and your family in a way that makes you happy, that's what you're striving for. So the fifth passive revenue source that I've generated for myself is my online business legal toolkit. Now, this started as a standalone course that I had to launch every month, and that alone was very active because I had to do a lot of work in those launches and promote the course and do emails and do webinars and do trainings and do different things like that to get people into the course. I've now put over 300 students in that course. It continues to grow each month. It's closed for enrollment right now, but I recently have switched it from a standalone. Those birds are loud. Somebody's stealing somebody's fish. Anyway, I have taken that course from a one-pay offering to now it's a membership program. And what comes with that membership program are all the legal templates that I talked about before, as well as group calls and things of that sort. Now, some people might say, well, the group calls aren't really passive, and that's true. They're not passive, but there's something I enjoy doing, and it's only 1 or 2 calls a month. I'm happy to do that, and I like providing the value. I like talking to people. I like answering their questions. I like doing those trainings, and they're with people that are already paying me for the advice. So I am more than happy to do that. And if I got my business to the point where all I had to do was videos and 1 or 2 group coaching calls a month and update my program as needed, I'd be great with that. That'd be cool. So that's the 5th revenue stream. So the 6th revenue stream is interest and dividends. Now, I don't really count this because any investments I have with interest and dividends, those are all just getting reinvested. And so I don't really count that as, it is passive revenue, but I'm not living off of any of that money. I'm not using any of that money or spending it. It's just all getting reinvested into additional index funds and stock. So that would be the 6th passive revenue stream. Now, there is one I forgot before I get to the 2 bonus revenue streams, and that is an additional standalone course that I created to teach people how to set up their LLC. This is a brand new revenue stream that I'm building out right now, but once I finish this course, that will be completely standalone. It'll be another way that I can earn money without promoting that. It'll be completely passive at that point. It's not something I talk about a whole lot. I'm not really promoting it a whole lot, other than to say there's a link down in the description below if you want to check it out, but that's another revenue stream that I'm able to generate some money from. And let's go into the 2 bonus revenue streams. So the first bonus revenue stream I'll talk to you about is legal work. So I talked at the beginning of the video about how my goal was, before the pandemic hit, that I wanted to build a law firm where I would be basically the managing partner overseeing all the work and the people that work with me in the law firm. And so that is still a goal of mine, but it's changed somewhat in that rather than my associates and staff handling cases in the local court system, we're going to be doing more and more trademark work, copyright work, contract work, and things of that sort for clients that are paying me on monthly recurring retainers. And so my plan for that is, and I don't have all the systems in place just yet. I do have a handful of clients that are still paying me in more traditional law firm ways, but we're transitioning over to monthly recurring flat fees that people will pay, and they'll get a package of services from us. And then in addition to that, I also have some packages for people that want to protect their brand through trademarks, and those are all flat fees. Currently, I'm still handling all that work, but the plan would be that I will be hiring another associate attorney to handle that work for me and go through my process for helping people get their brands protected with trademarks. And then finally, the second bonus revenue stream that I'm working on, but not really working on, is sponsorships. I get approached by companies several times a week to do sponsorship deals on my videos, and to date I have not accepted a single one of them. They typically don't align with what I'm doing on this channel. They don't align with my personal beliefs, and so I've decided to reject all of them to date. So in 16 months I haven't accepted a single one. But that's not to say that I wouldn't accept one. If the right sponsorship deal comes along, then I would absolutely consider accepting it. And I guess, again, there's going to be people out there who are going to leave comments below and say, sponsorship deals, those are not passive revenue. Well, yeah, you're right. That's not passive revenue. I think it depends on how the sponsorship deal is structured. If somebody paid me just to do a promoted video, in all likelihood, that would not be a sponsor or that would not be passive income, because they'd be paying me to produce a video and post it. In all likelihood, if I were to do a deal like that, it would have to be something where I got paid recurring based on the performance of the video. And my channel is at a place right now where I think that I could comfortably predict what videos will do well and what videos won't do well, and produce a video that I think would resonate with more of my viewers. And every time I post a video, I might add, just like YouTube gets better at predicting what's going to do well and what's not going to do well on YouTube, I have systems in place that are able to predict what videos are going to do well and what videos aren't going to do well. And so I have a lot of video ideas in the queue that I haven't actually acted upon because I haven't determined that they would actually perform as well as I would like. And that's probably why you see a lot of experimentation on my part with the channel in terms of thumbnails and titles and video topics and things of that sort, because ultimately my goal at the end of the day is to produce content that you find valuable and that YouTube finds valuable, that's going to get surfaced to more people and help impact more businesses so that you can have a greater impact in the world. And I have to say, now that I have put in place the systems for all these passive revenue streams, it has changed my life. I can work now from anywhere, anytime, any place. And I mean, if I wanted to work all week this week here from Florida, I could. I'm not going to, but I could. And that's made possible through the power of passive revenue. It's an amazing feeling. Absolutely amazing feeling.